Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing you need in this moment is another open thinking, and I'm sure that, of course, Commission officials could provide that, but we got a wealth of very motivating thoughts, very visionary thoughts, but at the same time I enjoyed very much that you did not try to seek some kind of consensus, but you shared very openly challenges, opportunities which we are facing in this specific domain, and I'm sure that through that you will provide very important input for both policymakers as well as for researchers for addressing the future challenges. So for me personally, the part of the meeting which I attended, that means joined you around 3 o'clock today, was very motivating, very interesting, and I truly enjoyed it, because really the essence of your discussion is to go beyond technology. Very often you talked much more about a society, about a mankind, about where we are heading as a society, and much less about the technology itself. And I think this is the forum exactly where these kind of discussions should happen. However, let me reassure you that for us, for the Commission, this discussion and this conference has two specific, very important inputs. First one is that by listening and talking with you, we will be able to shape our future policies in the domain of the Internet as such, not the research only, but Internet governance as such, much more and much better than we are doing right now. From that perspective, I truly appreciated the input which we got already up to now. The second, if you want, very selfish input which we'll get from you is that, this input will help us to prepare our specific research policies for the future of Internet research itself. So Roger and Roberto and Giga, thank you very much for preparing this set of very concrete recommendations. In the spirit of open thinking, I will be bold and respond to them just provisionally, of course. We will, of course, respond and interact with you later on. First of all, you insist that the research and the approaches which we should stimulate in the future should be holistic and multidisciplinary. I have to underline that we at the Commission, we fully agree with that recommendation. As you know, we have a number of programs, and for example, in specific programs, parts of the programs, for example, future and emerging technologies, let's be frank, we have not always been very successful. It was a major challenge how to bring together different scientists, industrialists, and the reasons are very simple. You know the robust structures of academia we have out there. You know that it's very difficult to get together researchers because they are evaluated in different terms, because they are rewarded in different terms. And that, of course, led us that different disciplines are sometimes working worlds apart. They speak different language. So from us, it's very important that we work on thinking about what could be possible new incentives for multidisciplinary research, as well as to reflect about who could be possible translators, who could be able to break the barriers between scientific disciplines, between science and humanities itself. So I very truly appreciate the input and recommendation in that respect. Second recommendation which you get is that we should support more forward-looking approaches and foresight exercises. When I read it, I should admit that my reaction was, but we are already doing it. We are already doing it a lot. It is true, however, that in specific part of the Future Internet PPP, we have much more focus on short-term results. We want to get together different stakeholders who are much more short-sighted in that respect. But at the same time, we have a number of activities where we try to focus and encourage forward-looking approaches and foresight exercise as well. But later on, when I read it again, I thought you're just reinforcing that message, also saying we should continue and reinforce this approach. Third message, which is very important, is to involve users, also users as individuals, as well as communities, NGOs, and other representatives of the civil society in our research actions. Once again, I truly subscribe to that recommendation. Very often what we are doing is we start the research project, and then only at the last stage, as an add-on, we involve NGOs or user groups. This does not work. We have to work with them from the beginning, from the outset of the preparation of the project, and only through that approach we can really get them truly integrated, and of course bear the fruit of their knowledge of the issues and of course their expectations. Fourth recommendation, which you tabled very boldly, is the importance of the international cooperation. Yes, we fully subscribe to that, but you know, the devil is in the detail as usual. As you know, we already started with the we have the general opening of the future internet and FP7 as such. We also had some specific targeted actions, for example, coordinated call with Brazil, which is a major success. However, we should reflect internally also with your cooperation of what are the right instruments for strengthening the international cooperation. How to do it in such a way that it will be organic, that it will not really introduce additional problems and administrative burdens to the participants. So in that respect, I think it's important to reflect about what is the right approach for strengthening the international cooperation itself. Fifth recommendation, you recommended that value-driven programs and projects should be promoted, which of course includes the concepts of socially and societally conscious approaches, of responsible innovation, and also improved ethical review mechanisms. I think this is a very important approach, and I'm sure that later on tomorrow we will be able to discuss it in much more details. Finally, you recommend to include some research at the limits of the research program. Believe me, as a former scientist, unfortunately, I have to fully subscribe to what you're saying. It's very important that we actually go beyond normal thinking. We should look at how to expand the knowledge, and I think from that perspective, challenges which I see are not purely technological and scientific, as we've clearly seen today, but also we have to have very clear social, economical, environmental dimension in the research which we are doing. Last thing which I would like just to add, because we still have an open debate, is I want to reinforce the invitation which a number of panelists actually tabled to you here today. I mean, there is a wealth of knowledge here in the room, and I'm sure out there as well. I think it's very important that you, as free thinkers, as scientists, as representatives of NGO or user groups, or even if you want as a policymakers, engage yourself in shaping our future policies on different domains, different levels, either on the level of the member state, on the level of the European Union, or broader. We have to work together in thinking about what is the right interface and interaction between society and internet. So with this message, I would like to thank once again excellent work done on the domain of the from PARADISO project. I think we had very good recommendations, and of course from our side, from the side of the Commission, we have a full commitment to work very closely with you in preparing both our future research policy as well as our policy actions in the domain of internet. So ladies and gentlemen, with this message I would like to thank you once again today. I wish you a good continuation of the meeting tomorrow, and of course nice social events. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoran.